Hello, everybody out there on Facebook Live. We're so glad you joined us today. We're excited to sing with you here in Labor Heritage Week. Let's welcome everybody to the room. Hello, everybody. Hello. So glad you guys are all here again today for another song in the Daily Antidote of Song. We are excited to be starting our very first partnership with the Labor Heritage Foundation. And this is our Labor Heritage Week, hosted the entire week by Elise Bryant and Joe Jencks. And I'll be turning it over to them in a minute. I first just want to greet everybody. Hi, everybody on Facebook Live. Thank you for being here. Hello, of course, to Joe Jencks. Hello, of course, to Elise Bryant. Hello to Katie Abadou, who's running the tech. Hello to Charlie King, who's going to be sharing a song with us today. And hello to the rest of the gang. Hi, Thomasina. Nice to see you. I think coming out of New York, if I remember right. Hello to, I think that's Randy. Hi, Randy. Nice to see you. Hello to Aloysius in his car. No looking at your screen, please. Hi, Denise. Glad to have you today. And hello to Mabel in Massachusetts, or at least her armchair. Hello to Dan in Virginia. Hello to Deborah in Kentucky. Elise Witt, one of our song leaders. So glad you're here with us today, coming in from Georgia. Hello to Al. Nice to see you today. Hello to Carol in Connecticut. Hello to Annie in Victoria. Sheila in Florida. Christiana in Rockville. Annette in California. Ellen, hello. Nice to see you today. Glad you're here. Hello to Lisa in Indiana. Hello to Karen in Oregon. Arlene in California. Kate in Charlottesville. Hello, Terry. Nice to have you back. Hello, Kevin in New Hampshire. Glad you're here. Hello, Janet in Georgia. And hello to Kathleen in Albuquerque. Susan, nice to have you today. And hello to Pete and Janet in Toronto. Anne in Maryland, DC. Hello to Susan in Ohio. Miriam and Anna in Maine. Hello, Caroline in DC. Jamie in Victoria. Luda in Victoria. Barb in Virginia. Becky in Vancouver. Hello to Nancy's Irish Cow in Washington. Sarah in Texas. Glad you're here. Fred, the DC Labor Chorus. Hello, nice to have you in the room with us today. Jim in New York. Tom in Victoria. Dick Jackson, the Getting Higher Choir. Nice to see you today. Hello, Lynn in Connecticut. Gary, hello, in Massachusetts. Bob, also Massachusetts. Susan, hello, also from the DC Labor Chorus. Glad you're here today. Hello, Nancy in Vermont. Jean in Pittsburgh. And let me see where I am. Sean, nice to have you today. Good to see you. And hello to Phoebe and Carolyn in Idaho. And lots of folks off video. Hindi and Gwen, Carla and Busy from Carpe Diem Arts. Karen and Denise and Sandra and Jane and Suzanne and Valerie and lots of people, and it's popping all over and I can't see you all. So Kathy in upstate New York, hello. And Julie Alexander, hello. Nice for all of you to come into the room today. Let's all begin by taking a deep breath. It's really lovely to see you all. And I'm super excited to have this week co-hosting with me all week long, Elise Bryant, Labor Heritage Foundation, Joe Jencks, musician extraordinaire, and one of our favorite people in this room to sing with repeatedly. I'm turning it over to both of you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Well, we're very excited today to host at the beginning of this week, celebrating work and workers, one of America's great labor and folk singers, the one and only Charlie King.
Yay!
How are you today? How are you this morning, Charlie?
I'm fine. Actually, I'm not the one and only Charlie King. There's a used car salesman in Ohio and a porno star in Australia who's really quite buff if you want to look him up.
Wait a minute.
And have you ever written a song about the doppelgangers out there?
No, I'm waiting for them to get in touch with me first. I think I've got a few years on all of them.
Nice. Well, as far as folk music in North America is concerned, this is the one and only Charlie King, and
That's right.
a man of extraordinary talent and compassion. And what do you want to sing with us today, Charlie?
I thought a good sing-along would be a song I wrote in 2001, right after the attack on the World Trade Center. And there was a lot of anger and self-righteous violent threats in the air, and I thought of the words of Pope Paul VI, of all people, who said, "If you want peace, work for justice," and that's the name of the song.
Beautiful. Before we dive into that, since this is the beginning of Labor Heritage Week, Elise, would you share some with us about the Labor Heritage Foundation and its mission and your work there?
Yes, the Labor Heritage Foundation is, we like to say, the art and soul of the labor movement. We started, I think, back in 1974, something like that. And it came out of a song network that I think also became like the People's Music Network on one side and stayed and became the Arts Exchange here, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, the event that we hold every year is called the Great Labor Arts Exchange. And that's how I met Charlie King, and that's how I met Joe Jencks, and met a whole bunch of really wonderful people through that event. And it will be held this year also online again. Last year was the first time online. We had a great time. And so this year it'll be again. You can go to our website, laborheritage.org, and join us. It's going to be fun. Is that enough, Joe?
That's great. Yeah. And Elise, some of you know, she's been here before as a musician, is also an extraordinary singer and performer, and has a lengthy history as a theatrical actor and director, and has done work over the years on creative organizing all over North America, helping people figure out how to use the arts as an organizing tool. And so we're very grateful to have you as the executive director of the Labor Heritage Foundation right now, because you bring a whole lot to the table.
My honor and pleasure.
Charlie, sing a song for us. Teach it to
bet.
us, if you would, please.
Here's the chorus. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. No justice, no peace. You can't have peace in a world of hunger with one dog over and one dog under. You can't have peace in a world of hunger, not in this world, until the last chains fall. Hunger will make slaves of us all. Chorus. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. No justice, no peace. You can't have peace in a world of war where the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. You can't have peace in a world of war, not in this world, until the last chains fall. War will make slaves of us all. So if you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. No justice, no peace. You can't have peace in a world of hatred. Your way evil, my way sacred. You can't have peace in a world of hatred, not in this world, until the last chains fall. Hatred will make slaves of us all. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. No justice, no peace. You can't have peace in a world of violence, a world of terror, fear and silence. You can't have peace in a world of violence, not in this world, until the last chains fall. Violence will make slaves of us all. So if you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Yay! Thank you. God, that was good. Just what we needed.
Yeah, what a beautiful song, Charlie. I didn't realize you'd written that in the wake of 9/11.
Yeah, and it was just as I said, in the atmosphere after 9/11. I'd been in the woods when that happened. I was camping out in the woods, and 6 days later, I came out, and there were all these flags everywhere, and all these "God Bless Americas" everywhere. And then the top down advice from Washington was, let's saddle up and head for Afghanistan. And I just kept thinking of those words: if you want peace, work for justice. It was out of an encyclical by Pope Paul. He probably wasn't the first one to say it, and hopefully not the last.
Wow.
And then the other words that helped a lot in the song are from a song by Eric Bogle about prisoners in the prisons of South Africa under apartheid. And it's a little bit more poetic than mine. He said, "Until the last chains fall, freedom will make slaves of us all." So I pretty much stole that outright from Eric Bogle, who's one of my favorite songwriters.
Wow. I was also struck by the correlation within the song to something that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said. Hatred is a chain with a prisoner at both ends.
Oh,
Good one.
don't believe I'd heard that.
Yeah.
Well,
Will this be
Charlie,
recorded, or do I have to write it down?
Sorry, what was that, Charlie?
I say, will this be recorded, or do I have to write it down?
No, this is recorded, and
All right, then.
yeah, you're good.
It's memorable. I think I'll carry it away.
So you and Elise Bryant are doing some collaborative work together
You're on
presently.
tour. Yeah. We started working together last year and took on the task of how do you do duet performance on Zoom. And I think we've figured out a bunch of things about that, about songs that are a cappella, call and response, verse and chorus, back and forth, and also learning like a good bass player to stay just ahead of the beat so that there aren't those kind of uncomfortable nanosecond lapses in the performance. And I think we've done 4 of them now, if I've got my count right, and we're sort of getting the pattern down of how to sound like we're actually in the same room singing together.
Wow, that's great. And do you have a performance upcoming?
Huh. Let me get out my Google Calendar here.
I think the next one is June, right? June 26th?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, because when I said, "Are you ready for the May Day concert?" you said, "I thought it was in June." Yeah, let's see. Oh, yeah, June 26th. June 26th. And that will be the weekend after the Great Labor Arts Exchange. Not to mention 3 weeks after the People's Music Network convergence.
So Charlie, someone asked in the chat room if that song is on one of your CDs, and it is.
It must be, yeah. But I tell you what, I would have to go to my website to figure out which one it's on. But if you do go to my website, you'll discover that in desperation, I'm cleaning up my barn. In desperation, I'm selling most of my CDs for $5. So it would be an easy matter to.
$5.
Yeah, well, it's that, or they bury them with me.
I hear you, Charlie. We've had a couple of people have called us and asked if they could donate, 1,000 of their CDs to the Labor Heritage Foundation. We have an archive at the University of Maryland, but they ain't gonna take 1,000 CDs and
No.
nobody. But
No.
yours is already in that archive.
Oh, so I can't do that with it, right?
Maybe, but it's been a pleasure singing together. It really has.
Yeah,
That's
it's been
great.
great, hasn't it? And
Yeah.
it's not more than just singing together because Elise brings this incredible poetic and theatrical flair, and we get to. It's so much better, really, in a lot of ways, in a live concert. I'm listening to her perform these pieces, and I'm 14 inches away from her face. It's wonderful. A lot of places that's not even legal.
So one of the things
In Arkansas, you could get 15 years for that.
is that I don't consider myself a solo singer. I mean, it's why I started the DC Labor Chorus. I started a
Yes.
chorus because I consider myself a background singer, an iket. but not solo. So I don't really sing that many songs solo. And this concert, this series that we've been on together, Charlie, has challenged me to have faith in my ability as a singer. I'm absolutely confident as a theater performer. That I've been doing since I was 6 years old. But singing solo in Detroit, growing up in Detroit, if you couldn't sing like Aretha, you couldn't sing. So thank you, Charlie, for that gift of coming together that way.
Thank you for the gift.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Elise, do you want to tell everybody just a little bit about the Great Labor Arts Exchange this year?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna have workshops as we have in the past. Usually, the format is usually plenary session, which is also called the Song Exchange. Well, it's all called the Song Exchange. Now it's called the Arts Exchange, so that anyone can bring a song, a story, a poem, hip hop, artwork, visual artwork. Photographers also share as part of a swap, so that each person has an opportunity to get before everybody and share something that's on their heart or their spirit. And then we have workshops in the afternoon, and we'll have local artists and folks who will be presenting. And we try to do hands-on workshops, do workshops, but there'll be choral workshops and sound workshops and radio. And Saturday of this year's Arts Exchange is being hosted by our Next Generation Committee. It's everybody that comes to Arts Exchange is under the age of 35 who have put together that day on Saturday of all the next generation artists, singers, hip hop, whatever. So it's going to be really special in that respect. And of course, we have our annual contest. We have a song contest and a poetry contest and a spoken word contest. You have to be registered for the Arts Exchange in order to participate. But you bring your songs. Winners are right here among us, even as I speak. So we're looking forward to that. And then we have Saturday night will be our big concert, the Best of the Arts Exchange. And that's one of my favorite moments of that weekend event.
Beautiful. And we've posted the Labor Heritage information in the sidebar chat there. The website is up there, laborheritage.org.
I'll put the registration link in.
Oh, beautiful. That's great. Thank you. And Charlie, do you have any upcoming performances? Are you doing any live shows in person over the summer?
That was a really easy question. Absolutely none. No, I'm not doing any out there in public work. Just sort of hunkering down and visiting family and doing all my work online.
Beautiful.
How about you?
Right now I have one show all summer that's going to be in person, as far as I know. There may be others that emerge, but it will be socially distanced in a gargantuan barn up in Door County.
County where?
Sorry?
Which of the...
Door County, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still hiring?
Sorry? Oh, yeah,
hiring?
no. Yeah. I'm not sure it'd be worth the drive all the way from Massachusetts up to Door County. That's a good 18 hours at least. But it's mostly virtual all around this year. But just want to put in another plug for the Great Labor Arts Exchange. For those of you that are new to the Labor Heritage Foundation or to this community, it is one of my favorite gatherings that I go to in any year. An extraordinary community of people, starting out with the rank and file workers who are invested in cultural work, and it began to attract some, professional touring folks to come in because the word spread around that this was an amazing gathering that was totally the real deal. And even online, we had an amazing gathering last year and some other events this year. So stay tuned and. In addition to swinging back to if you want peace, work for justice before we wrap up the day, Charlie, is there by chance another song that you'd want to share with us today that feels sort of just in the front of your mind or something that you just are eager to put out there?
Well, aren't you a surprise? Let me think here. Can I, it's new, so can I bring up a lyric sheet?
Sure, by all means.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Talk among yourselves.
Okay, I had a question actually for you and Joe. It's like, what was your favorite moment at a Great Labor Arts Exchange? I mean, for me, I could say it was like meeting you, hearing you sing for the first time. Actually, Joe Jencks, you were singing in my living room. I didn't even know who you were. It was a pre-Arts Exchange event, and I was outside, and I heard this voice floating through the window, and I went, "Who that?" And it was you.
Thank you. I remember that party. I remember I was terrified. There was I didn't know anybody there, and Pat Humphreys, bless her, had invited me to come to D.C. to Silver Spring for the Arts Exchange, but I didn't know anybody except her, and I only knew her a little bit. And she and Sandy were very gracious and letting me sleep on their floor in a sleeping bag along with 6 other people who had come to the Arts Exchange. We had a giant slumber party at Pat and Sandy's house, and yeah, I think one of the things that strikes me is that it's so easy for all of us to get very isolated in our own little circles, in our own communities, socially, politically, spiritually. And when I came to the Arts Exchange for the first time, I saw the most extraordinary merging of progressive politics and people's spiritual beliefs and different cultural perspectives from rank and file from across North America. Many different cultures represented because, of course, the working class in North America are comprised of a very, very diverse set of the population. And so it struck me that I had never been to another festival or conference where there was actually more cultural diversity present. And it knocked my socks off to hear people singing in many different languages. Yeah, it was just amazing.
Thank you. Ready, Charlie?
I got a song, yeah.
All right.
Just by way of introduction, Park Cannon is a representative young woman in the Georgia Assembly, African American, queer identified state legislator, and in the minority in the legislature. So she was not one of the ones that voted for voter suppression legislation, which is passed in Georgia and signed by the governor, Brian Kemp. And usually signing of bills is done in public and representatives are invited to attend. And if you're lucky, you get one of the pens, right? But this piece of legislation was controversial enough that Brian Kemp, the governor, signed it behind locked, closed doors in his office. And the only people who attended were a video cameraman and 3 or 6 handpicked representatives, white males like himself. And he sat at his desk under a large painting of a Georgia plantation, and he signed this voter suppression bill. And he went on to start a press conference, but he couldn't do the press conference because there was this loud booming noise in the room. It was Park Cannon rapping on the door with her fist saying, "Let me in." And they got the Capitol Police to come up and arrest her, and seemed like what she did was worth a song, and here's one of them. Brian Kemp's office was locked up so tight, she would not stop knocking at the door. Hey, this is a sing-along, right? Every other line in this song is she would not stop knocking at the door. So and don't worry about singing the wrong melody. Brian Kemp's office was locked up so tight, she would not stop knocking at the door. He was signing a bill out of reach, out of sight. She would not stop knocking at the door. Representative Cannon, a woman on fire, she would not stop knocking at the door. Raised a ruckus, the truth and the governor's ire, she would not stop knocking at the door. She hollered, she knocked, she persisted, she did. He'd much rather work in the dark, like the old Ku Klux Klan. But State Rep Park Cannon knows under the sheet he's a shark. Georgia's assembly had passed legislation. She would not stop knocking at the door to send Georgia's voters back to the plantation. She would not stop knocking at the door. The voters had spoken, A red state turned blue. She would not stop knocking at the door. But the Georgia Assembly is staging a coup. She would not stop knocking at the door. Oh, she hollered, she knocked, she persisted, she did. The governor thought he could hide. But running a scam on the likes of Park Cannon is swimming against the tide. They dragged her in cuffs to a squad car outside. She would not stop knocking at the door. Rosa Parks smiling down on one more freedom rider. She would not stop knocking at the door. So many have fought for the freedom to vote. She would not stop knocking at the door. She could not get his veto, but she sure got his goat. She would not stop knocking at the door. She was hauled off to jail like her heroes of old. They booked her, and here's what she wrote. We will not live in fear. We will not be controlled, and we will not be robbed of our vote. So here's to the name of persistent Park Cannon, and to all who have gone on before. And here's to the allies who offer their hand in the dull daily door-knocking chore. And here's to the people of Georgia who voted for Warnock and Ossoff and more. Stacey Abrams, Park Cannon, undaunted, devoted, determined to walk through that door. Raise your hand, raise your fist, lend a hand. Carry on like Park Cannon. You got a knock there, Elise. Carry on like Park Cannon. She would not stop knocking. She kept the boat rocking. She would not stop knocking at the door. What
Yay.
fun. Thanks, Elise.
What a great song, Charlie. Absolutely fantastic.
You know what's great about it? Is we'll all remember her name now. Park Cannon. You can't forget it. It's like, I couldn't remember her name to save my life. I know the one was, yeah, got it. Thank you, Charlie.
My pleasure. Fortunately, it's easy to rhyme with.
Uh-huh, for you.
That's great. Well, do you feel like singing "If You Want Peace, Work for Justice" once more and take us out with a song? And
Sure. And if you have access to the lyrics, I would say ignore them. Because why? What's this? No, I have to bring up the lyric sheet again. Well, wait a second. Why would I bring up the lyric sheet if I'm telling everyone else not to bring up the lyric sheet? So forget about the lyric sheet, because the chorus is simple. If you want peace, work for justice. No justice, no peace. And the verses are actually kind of an elaborate zipper song. The first, third, fourth, they repeat. The only thing that changes is the word. The first time it's hunger, and the second time it's war, and the third time it's, well, I'll shout it out if I can remember it.
that's great. Thank you, Charlie.
Yep, here we go. If you want peace, work for justice. 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 No justice, no peace. You can't have peace in a world of hunger. One dog over and one dog under. You can't have peace in a world of hunger. Not in this world. Until the last chains fall. Hunger will make slaves of us all. See if you got the pattern down. The next one comes up with hunger. No, we did hunger. The next one is war. We'll skip the chorus. You can't have peace in a world of war where the rich stay rich, the poor stay poor. You can't have peace in a world of war, not in this world. not in this world, until the last chains fall, until the last chains fall. Hunger will make slaves of us all. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. No justice, no peace. Hatred, you can't have peace in a world of hatred. Your way evil, my way sacred. You can't have peace in a world of hatred. Not in this world, until the last chains fall. Hatred will make slaves. Hatred will make slaves of us all. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. No justice, no peace. Violence. Well, you can't have peace in a world of violence, a world of terror, fear, and silence. Can't have peace in a world of violence, not in this world, until the last chains fall. Violence will make slaves of us all. So if you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. If you want peace, work for justice. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Thank you so much, Charlie. It would be absolutely fair to say that you are one of the greater influences on my own songwriting and on my career as a performer. I was in college when one of my sisters gave me your album, Food, Phone, Gas, Lodging, and has just some amazing songwriting. And then I dove into your catalog and had the privilege to get to know you through AFM Local 1000, through the Great Labor Arts Exchange, through the People's Music Network. And thank you for all of the amazing songs that you keep bringing into the world. I have never seen you take a victory lap. You are always looking forward and continuing to create new art. And that's an admirable quality.
Thank you, Joe. It's been a pleasure. Thanks to Katie and to JoJo and to Elise. Wonderful to be here with you. As you can tell, I enjoyed myself.
That's great. Thanks for being here. And Elise and I will be here with you all week, co-hosting Labor Heritage Week. And again, thanks to Joe Rossi and to Carpe Diem Arts. Thanks to Katie, doing a great job with the tech there. And thanks again, Charlie, for being with us.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Elise. And yes, my thanks also to Charlie. It was really, really great having all three of you here with us today. What a great way to start off our week. And I'm so excited to be singing all week long with Labor Heritage Foundation. Let's all give a big thanks to Charlie, Elise, and Joe. Thank you, gang, so much. Thank you, everybody in this room. Can't wait to see you all tomorrow. Have a very peaceful and happy rest of your day, thinking about peace and justice and all those amazing interrelations between them. Thank you again to Katie for running the tech for us today. And goodbye to Thomasina. Thank you for being here today. Great to see you, Mabel and Bob and some cinnamon bears. Thank you to Dan and Deborah and Al and Carol and Annie, Annette, Ellen, Lisa, Karen, Arlene, Kate, Kevin, Kathleen, Peter and Janet, Susan, Anna, and Caroline. And actually, let's wave goodbye to everybody out there on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for being with us today. Can't wait to sing with you again tomorrow.